力の差を教えてやる。
Hey, what is going on, guys? This is your boy the Vast Smasher, and welcome back to another Bleach Brave Souls video. And today we are going to be doing a video similar to how I did a good while back for when I talked about how Dangai and Hogyoku Aizen should be resurrected, but unfortunately it was not exactly as how I wanted the characters to be. So this time I'm going to take a different approach and not go in expecting the best. And today we're going to be talking about how these three characters, FULLBRING Ichigo, the Lost Agent Uryu, aka 25 Nad Uryu, aka Shit Uryu, and of course the OG Tech Ginjo that is no longer with us, because basically this was basically the very first Ginjo we got in the game, being the Mind Ginjo. And we're basically going to be talking about their resurrections and how they should be done, because when FULLBRING Ichigo came out into the game, he changed the entire meta of how 6 stars should actually be. And it did change for good, because we have a lot of units that have high spiritual pressure, frenzy, and have all amazing kits. And literally, without this unit, let's just say we wouldn't even have all those units that came right after him that are godly, like 1000-Year Blood War Toshiro, and so on and so forth. But anyways, we are likely to get their resurrections throughout this entire year of 2020, if not next year. Time will only tell, because Caleb is also resurrecting the older seasonal units, so we'll just have to wait and see for that. But that doesn't mean we can't make a speculation video on how the characters should be. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and go into the album, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start off directly with the worst of the batch of characters, being Ginjo, because when he came out, he was the worst character of the batch that came out along with, but he did introduce the damage inflicted at low stamina by 30%, because at least this soul trait, it's still very useful for hybrid builds, very amazing in epic raids for when running units that don't have flurry or just have like a low berserker or whatnot. Also great on some 1.5 bonus units. It's a good soul trait for, you know, taking damage and then getting an extra 30% boost in your normal attacks and your strong attacks when at low stamina. But that being said, the character itself, he's not that great, because, okay, so for starters, he is a mind human with Soul Reaper Killer, and is a one of its kind right now, because we don't have another mind human with Soul Reaper Killer. And believe it or not, Mind doesn't have that many good human characters other than the Mind Tsukishima, even though he does have no affiliation killer, but he at least has Frenzy, so at least that's a pass. But anyways, he's got 1028 stamina, which is pretty good. Attack at 657 is just, not that amazing. It's like, if it's a NAD character, it would be pretty mediocre. But if it's an SP unit, it'd be good, because it's a bit higher than average, but he's not an SP unit either. He has a defense at 390, which is insane, focus at 323, which is below average, and an abysmal SP of 639. Now, if he were a NAD character, this would be above average, which would be nice, but he's not a NAD character, as you can see right here. So yeah, that's very disappointing. But look, the stats can be fixed because of Transcendence. Like, just give him 5 out of 5, you can transcend the stats, but let's be honest here, nobody's gonna do that. Why? Because look at his ass skills that he has! Okay, forget the fact that he's a melee unit with no status ailments, because it's okay, because a lot of units nowadays that have no status ailments are actually pretty good. Big example are basically the new Ichigo, the new Aizen, and the new Kenpachi. They have no status ailments, but they're pretty strong. But anyways, the skills themselves, they suck, because he has a 20% bruiser and a 20% berserker. Meaning that if you go full-on hybrid on this character, he's just going to be doing really ass damage unless you get him at low stamina. Which, I'm going to be honest, it's not even worth it. Like, you're only going to give him a strong attack damage build or a normal attack damage build in order to do the best numbers. And even then, he can't even do it just because of the simple fact that his stats are also way too low for it. Meaning that we didn't need a remake of Ginjo anytime soon. And we did get one, but now he just is becoming a nuisance. But that being said, he does have a 40% devastation. He's got long reach at 20%. He's got havoc at 20%, and he's got sprinter. So, yeah, this is basically his skills, and literally, he was meant to be an SP character, because otherwise he wouldn't even have this havoc that we can see right here. I don't know what Caleb were trying to think when trying to make this character. But anyways, this is gonna be Ginjo before he gets his resurrection. But if we go ahead and do some math, and we apply the preset values that Caleb always adds every single time a character gets a new resurrection, the stats that Ginjo will get after being resurrected at level 200 is that he's going to have a stamina of 1063, attack at 711, defense at 396, focus at 340, and an SP of 727. So by the time we get his resurrection, he's going to be more of a hybrid character like we see right here. So stat-wise, it's going to be a good increase, but how will they actually fix this character? Personally thinking, they can either go two ways. You can either give him Frenzy, which, to be honest, it will work out very well if you guys actually gave him Frenzy, because at the end of the day, he does have a good kit. First strong attack being a B move, second strong attack being an AoE attack, and a third strong attack being almost 1,000 radius, lunges himself forward, and it's almost full screen, and does get everything that is in his way, which is insane. And, well, Frenzy would work actually well for this character, and would actually be the very first best Ginjo we have in the game, because the tech one is amazing, but not overall god tier as a lot of the characters. So yeah, they can actually go through that route. Or if they want to make him a hybrid character, you can just give him like an overall 40% bruiser, 40% berserker, and have his soul trait be strong attack damage right under the low stamina damage boost soul trait. It's gonna be 16%, but hey, it's still better than nothing, because at the end of the day, you will have a 56% increase to the strong attacks. You can just go with a couple frenzy links, and he will be able to do just as much damage as Manga Byakuya actually, even though it's not backed up by a full stamina damage boost, but it works at the end of the day. But I would actually see him getting Frenzy, but if he doesn't get Frenzy, maybe some decent increases to the Bruiser and the Berserker will be fine, and will actually make this guy usable. But the way he is right now, he's just literal dog shit. That's just what I see for this Ginjo, and what he's going to get. Now, up next, we have, Relax! I'm on your side! Which this fucker keeps on coming up every time I summon on my tickets from. So anyways, this guy is a human/Quincy affiliated unit with Soul Reaper Killer, so because he's a Quincy unit, there is going to be some use for it in Senkaimon quests, but we still need to get more content that actually uses Quincy characters. But anyways, this unit is nothing but a link, because his normal attack damage string can't even penetrate through the enemies, and all of his strong attacks have ranged collision, pushes back the enemies, and won't be able to do the best damage in terms of using the strong attacks. Like, honestly, I don't know what to say about this character. He's just pretty garbage in terms of kit. But anyways, he's got a stamina of 1024, attack at 705, defense at 345, focus at 328, and an abysmal SP of 591. So stats as a normal attack damage 25% link, it's okay, just that the attack needs to be a hell of a lot higher, which we will get that once he gets his resurrection. And this is the skills he has. Now, of course, only his special inflicts burn, and it's not even a debilitating burn, so it's not going to last too long. He has a 30% bruiser, which is why added with the 25 nad link, it's basically going up to 55%. A berserker of 30%. He's got devastation at 40%. It's odd that he has long reach because it doesn't really make any sense. He's got havoc too, which doesn't make any sense, and he actually has sprinter. Like, he has 2 skills that doesn't even make any freaking sense. Like, what? I'm sorry, what's the point in it? Like, can I get a fucking explanation as to why he has long reach and havoc when he's not an SP character? Like, long reach, okay, but what's the point in giving him long reach if Uryu himself cannot penetrate through enemies? But anyways, this is basically a stats that we get before his resurrection, but after you basically get him resurrected to level 200, the stats that he will actually have are actually 1059 stamina, attack at 759, so he becomes a way better Link, defense at 351, focus at 345, and an SP of 679. So yeah, he does get a pretty good stat boost once he gets the resurrection. So how can they actually fix his skills? Well, to be honest, they can do whatever the fuck they want for the skills. The only thing I really care about it is the soul trait. I want the secondary soul trait to be damage reduction at 12%, because I think he can get damage reduction. If Kensei was able to get it, if Shunsui was able to get it, I want to see Uryu get the same treatment, because it would be nice to have another 25% normal attack damage link with damage reduction. It would be nice. You can basically tank and do damage at the same time, especially considering that there are some good normal attack damage units that you can actually use in PvE that will very well benefit from the soul trait itself. Now, again, as I said, they can do whatever the fuck they want for the skills, because either way, if they want to focus on making him more of a NAD-based character, they can just basically up the bruiser up to 60%, so that way, once with the 25 NAD link, he basically gets up to 85%. I don't see this unit getting flurry, I just don't. Or they could just replace the berserker at 30% and just give him frenzy, considering, yes, even though he's got range collision on all of his strong attacks, I'm gonna be honest here, his strong attacks actually work better than his normal attacks, which is saying a lot, actually. And considering he also has havoc and at 20%, why not give him frenzy? Like, I could see him working either way, but then again, it kind of would put the whole attack stat to waste. But let me be honest here, you're not going to be using this character. You're only going to be using him as a link for your characters. That's just what I feel. Let me know your opinions in the comment section below if you guys would still use this character even after resurrecting him, despite whether he gets frenzy or a high bruiser. And that's Uryu for you. Now, FBI, yeah, okay, FBI open up, yeah, I get the joke, blah, blah, blah. Now, FULLBRING ICHIGO, they can give him the most disappointing upgrade in terms of a resurrection character, and I wouldn't be too triggered about it. Because this character is a fucking god, because he is still one of the best holo killers for technique. Matter of fact, second best holo killer for technique that you can still use right now in PvE if you actually have managed to pull this character in previous banners and, of course, from BBS tickets. Heck, I even pulled him from a freaking 5-star ticket not too long ago. A dupe of him, mind you, so he's 2 out of 5. But anyways, in terms of overall stats, he's got 995 stamina, attack at 638, defense at 361, focus at 325, and an SP of 721. Which, overall, the stats themselves, minus, I guess, the stamina and I guess the focus, they're pretty good. Well, focus, it's not that bad because you can actually up it up. SP, same thing, you can actually up it up. But overall, those are the stats. He does have strong attack damage, 20%, so he does lack a bit of the cooldown. But overall, he's got an amazing kit. Because, okay, forget the fact that he doesn't inflict any sort of status ailments, but he's got a bruiser of 40%. He's got devastation at 40%. He's got long reach at 20%. He's got frenzy. He's got weakened attack. He's got sprinter. And because he's got a lunge on his first strong attack, second strong attack being a beam move, and his third being full screen, and he also has frenzy, just makes him still one of the best units in the game. Like, this unit is so old, and he's still literally top 5 tech units in the game. Actually, top 10. Not the top 5, top 10. And you can still use this Ichigo just fine. And when he gets his resurrection, he's gonna get god tier stats, because what we're expecting out of this, once he gets the resurrection, using the same preset values that Caleb will always add to the resurrection characters, unless they decide to suddenly change them, which will be kind of weird. But anyways, his stamina will go up to 1030, which is already going to fix the stamina problem, because he has the least amount of stamina compared to the other two characters. He's going to get an attack of 692, working well considering the fact that he has a 40% bruiser. He gets a defense of 367, focus at 342, meaning that it does become really good after being somewhat low. And his SP basically surpasses Mugetsu and Muken Aizen. He's going to be getting an overall 809 spiritual pressure by the time he gets resurrected at level 200 without the Transcendent slots. With the Transcendent slots, if you get his SP at level 10 and you get the extra stat boost slot at 500 SP, he basically gets an overall 1809 SP, which is saying a lot. It's fucking insane. And personally, I cannot wait for his resurrection for that to happen, because he's just gonna become even more beefier. He's just gonna be so good. And now, as for the skills, like I said, they can actually disappoint me. Now, like I said, they can do the most disappointing upgrade and just buff the stats, but not give him anything. But I will say this. For Soul Trait, I do want Strong Attack Recharge to be there, so that way he at least has some form of cooldowns with his strong attacks, and you'll be able to spam them as easily as, well, per se, Can't Fear on World Star. Those kind of characters right there. A lot of tech units that have Strong Attack Recharge. And there's just one skill that I want added in there. Havoc 20%. That's all I want, because I want Havoc and be able to have a bit more range in his strong attacks, making Ichigo a god and giving him a bit more of a benefit compared to Rukia, because she does have a 20% Berserker and does have Frenzy and also has insane range, but she lacks Havoc. And I want to see Ichigo actually beat Rukia just by having that small strong attack recharge, a 10% soul trait, and by having Havoc. But only time will tell. For all I know, they're just gonna give him something different for his soul trait. They're not gonna give him Havoc and probably something else. We'll just have to find out by then. So anyways, these are my overall thoughts on what I think these characters should get once they get resurrected. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Do you guys think a unit should get this or a unit should get that? I want to know your opinions, because it's always nice to hear other people's opinions, because it's always nice to differentiate shit. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys have all enjoyed this video. This has been your boy, the Vest Smasher, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.